Peace and blessings, everyone. Hope everybody's all right. Before we get started, I was gone for a few days, had to go through some initiation. So I've been going for about almost a month, So I just would like to say, first of all, I hope everybody's in good health. My personal disclosure is of my personal experience and as a seer, personally, what I saw or what I see. So, I'm just giving another disclosure with this disclosure saying these are what's going on, Mike? What's good? You know, of myself. I don't want you to think I'm a doctor. I don't want you to think my opinion or beliefs should be imposed upon you. Yes, come fool, what's going on? How you doing? Peace and love. So, I just want y'all to first, understand this is just information to help and to guide and to also add on to what you already know to make your world better because right now we're going through something that is more psychological and mental more than actually, biological and pandemic in the sense, So hopefully I can help bring ease to your minds to stop the psychological warfare that is being played on everybody. So hopefully this could get everybody a greater understanding. And before we start, I just hope everybody's all right and take it one step at a time. So before we do, I'm gonna play this new joint that I've been working with. So I like to do my little intro thing. So let me ride this out right here, and then we take it from there as we get it prepared. All right. Oh, this not it. We already know this one. That's on my live already. It's this one right here. I see God, I see God, I see God. We're about to begin after this. I see God, I see God, I see God. Alright? I see God, I see God, I see God. Show you the jewelry, We got this new piece. We're gonna keep moving forward. That's the message. Keep moving forward. I see God, I see God, I see God. So I see God, I see God, I see God. I see God, I see God, I see God. It's a world pandemic, but we don't know that it's the gods who send it. Isolation is a message. Close your eyes, feel the heat of the serpent rise. Run outside, it's Raccoon City. Resident evil, citizens looking for pity. Look at nature, isn't she looking pretty? Break her laws, it's the dragon and the serpent that you just crossed. That's water and air, Hermes will appear, and alchemy in the air, mitosis. It's the combining of the forces. It's the ancient gods who battle on horses. Ogun and Ocean. Yemaya is the four horsemen. The man on the throne on the crown. Jesus is mighty, so when he touches it turns into a virus. People don't come outside no more. Looking from inside their house with a cross on their door. There's no more shaman in the store. Martial law for those who follow Moses' law. Above the law. All right. We're going to put that on my channel soon, so you could check it out. So let's get into this really, this disclosure and the reason why. What's that about? Well, this coronavirus, I'm out of the country, so I don't have the same situations as everybody else. But talking to family, friends, or whatever that's overseas, they kind of in a panic, and it's not just them. I mean, the whole U.S. is panicking right now. So the whole concept of what's going on has to be put into perspective so that we could understand and help to make the situation better. First of all, we're going to start off with isolation that I've been trying to tell y'all about. And so isolation was imposed on the whole world. You understand what I'm saying? Let's look at it from the basic point of view before we go deep into this, if it's government created or if it's nature who made it. Greetings, so good to hear from you. Yes, Priscilla, it's good to hear from you too. All right, so before we go into it, let's just look at the top layer of it and then go deeper and deeper and deeper. So isolation is imposed here. All right. Same thing that keep been telling y'all for isolation. So why is isolation being imposed here? It's not actually, government induced. This is more nature induced because it's people who get downloads. This has to do a lot with more mathematics stuff. You're gonna have to understand this formula that I'm about to explain to you. You see, what we got going on that they're not telling nobody. is the end of one era and the beginning of a new era. A different biology and a different chemistry of people from the new era of people. The era ended in 2012 when they said the Mayan calendar finished. I'm gonna give you the science so you understand. Everything flow. What's going on after life? Peace and blessings. Everything flow in a cycle of 12. Everything is 12. You understand what I'm saying? That's why we have the 12 zodiac, 12 hours, seconds, minutes. All of that derive off of the 12 system. So now with 12, right, we don't realize this is going to have to take on a biblical context for you to understand what's going on. They have this thing where they said that the world was only 6,000 years old. Well, that was true what they were saying because they was doing it from the circle of 12. So halfway through would have been 6,000, right? At the halfway point, yes, Priscilla, how you doing? Something happens at the halfway point. The halfway point, the opposite now is going to take occur. So whoever ruled on this side and whatever was good on this side, this is going to change now after 12 to the bad. This is going to be ruling. So when we finish the last age, what we just have finished, this is the Aquarian Age now we're in. It started in 2012. That's when people went crazy, just started bugging out, doing different things. What just happened? Why did that happen? You had now, we finished the 12, what is called 2012. It finished the whole cycle, and we are back to the beginning cycle of the first cycle again. So now we completed a whole zodiac cycle, but in the cycle is divided into two. The two is darkness and light. We just left darkness just now, and we're entering light again, the golden age, the beginning again. So now 2012, even though we under the Gregorian calendar, it doesn't work like that. The Gregorian calendar is just a made-up system. Nature and your body follow the 12 system. So everybody, especially priests, high priestess, they know this 12 system and they use it as far as what we call astrology. Astrology now is more accurate with everything that's going on in society and can give you a more accurate reading of what you're going to do tomorrow plus what you're feeling now. So with that in mind, think about astrology works off of 12. So now with that in mind, they had to take this out of society so they could control society by them not knowing the 12 and gave you the 31, the 28, and the 30 as far as days of the month and the solar system. But we're really governed by the moon, the 29-day cycle regardless, and that control our emotions. It also control your wealth, your poverty levels. It control your conception, your fate, and it control your destiny. All of this is controlled under this moon. And so they don't want you to know this. Once you're out of sync with it by being out of nature, then you're subject to viruses, all the things that's going on. So by putting your mind state in a pandemic state of mind, your vibratory frequency is off, right? That's quick. Then two, when they telling you with the antibacterial washing of yourself, you're gonna get sick. Why are you getting sick? Because you're taking off all the germs. You have bacteria on you. Bacteria blacks viruses. Bacteria is female. Viruses is male. And they need to come together. As you can see, if it's like a spore, the spore comes up and grabs the virus and it will pull it in. So they work together to make your body evolve. What happens now, you get an immune system buildup that actually now teach you how to defend yourself about this new frequency of the 12 you're in. You're going through a cycle of the zodiac where each one have a different density of stars. You've been in gravity before? If you got a bigger ball around you, it's going to drag you towards it more. If it's a small ball, there's no gravitational field. There's nothing pulling on you. So now we're in a different part of the zodiac system with bigger stars. That's right. Sandy says 6'9". That's my number. Right there, 6'9" is everything. I'm going to break down the 6'9" to you. That's right. Male, female, you become one. Half and half, 6 and 9. Gemini, everything. We're going to go through a lot today. Disclosure is going to be fun. Hot and cold. Hot and cold. Which side? You know which side is hot from which side is cold on your body? And it's a universal system. Your left side is always cold. because it's the positive side. The right side is always hot because it's the negative side. The negative side of you is the male. The female side of you is the positive side, which is cool, cold. Also in the spirit world, spirits is cold. The cold world, that's the creative side. And the hot world, God, the fire, is this side. This is analytical, and the other side is our actual creative, the feminine. So we'll get into that as we go on. Yes, and Sandy, you keep messing with me. I'm gonna keep breaking it down. Yeah, red and blue is the twin flame. You know, red and blue were associated with Mary Magdalene and Jesus, but it's our spiritual body inside of us, which is called the universal soul. When you get your universal soul, this is a tug of war that's going on right now with the government for your soul. And if you believe what they're saying, you lost the laws of what's called epigenetics. You have epigenetics working inside of you. What you believe, your DNA is going to go to. So if you believe in coronavirus, you're going to get coronavirus. It's that simple because they know about epigenetics. This is what's called above the genetics level. This is who you truly are. Like when you do the mathematics and you do the research, right? I hope all of y'all don't take me word literally and go do your own research. You're looking at actually now genetics is like 1% out of 100%. Well, let's make it big. Let's say 3% out of 100%. What's the 100%? The 100% is what you're made of, which is called microbes. So microbes is really what you have to worry about more than genetics and the cause and effect of genetics. Microbes is what make you do what you do. It controls you. It's your desire to eat something. It's your desire to go someplace. These is different now. We'll get into that because each other have our own unique microbes, and those is what sustain you. You know, the genetics is just passed on information that actually structures to mind what you think, what you believe. So just hold on those thoughts alone to help you balance out. But we're more operating over those genetics. That's why it's called epigenetics, because you're dealing with now the microbes part of it, which is mind, your thought. Which thought are you focusing on? What are you concentrating on? Your genetics is going to configure to it. After your genetics configure to it, your soul pick up on it. When your soul pick up on it, it goes and get it for you or go over there. Whenever it's like a magnet. Wherever it go, your body's gonna go now because your genetics actually conform and crystallize outside of you. What you think, or you see these shiny spots, these reflective spots, is you could say an antenna to your soul, but your soul is outside of your body, and it goes to where your desire is and sits there. Then you automatically go to where it's at. Somehow what we call the law of synchronicity and coincidences will come now into play, and all of a sudden it works. So now this is called above the genetics. So what you want to do is when you think these things like the coronavirus is going to attack you, you think that these things like being close to a person and all the stuff they're saying on the media is true. It becomes true to you. It becomes you actually taking your microbes and conforming it. And actually, it's very important to realize corona only sticks to protein. It needs a protein for it to attach itself to. It also needs to be in a high acidic environment, very low, very low alkaline. It can't survive in an alkaline environment, and it don't reproduce, or you could say mutate under those conditions. But the thing now with it, it's more intestinal, in your gastrointestinal, and your stomach is where it's going to stick to. And this is where you're going to have your problem at. So you control your thoughts, will actually not let it vibrate to stick to your body, to let it just pass through you like it's been doing. This been here from centuries ago. And they don't now, they don't let us know that it's been here. We see it as some new pandemic, but it's not a new pandemic. This is a new strand, like it mutated. It been trying to attach with us, but they keep putting it in vaccines, putting it in other things so that it can't attach to it. Why would it want to attach to us? It's not there to kill you, because your body's going to develop a defense immune system to it so you could upgrade. So when you go in that new star system, you're able to survive. So now that we're in this Aquarian age and this new star system is here, you had a lot of people when 2012 came in, the end of the whole cycle and the new cycle. Remember, we're on 12. So there's only thing you got to remember is the years and the number 12. 6 and 12, half and half. 6,000 years of darkness and 6,000 years of light. So we're in this 6,000 years of light now. We just left 6,000 years of darkness with Jesus and all that shit. You understand? So that's why the 2012 shit bugged out. Everybody's bugging out. But you see, the elite know this, so they're going to use this information to make money. They're not here to heal you, to stop it, because they know it's an upgrade. That's why they say go inside and isolate. I taught y'all isolation. If y'all been following me, y'all would have been in isolation and you would have been able to get these already on you and you would have upgraded already. Now you could go around coronavirus and inhale it, sniff it, touch it, play with it. It won't do you nothing because you already built up an immune system through it. That's what meditation do. Meditation allows you to use every muscle in your body to do what? Sit still. When you sit still, you use every muscle in your body to do that. Same thing when you're reading. When you read, you use every muscle to do that. So those two exercises right there will teach you how to have a perfect body, because it uses all the chemicals too to help you to paralyze your desires, your emotions to want to move. So now this is where that comes in. So people who meditate, people who does yoga, they shouldn't have such a problem. Why would they have a problem? It's the way they're eating. All of this is triggered from what's inside your body. So it's easy for this to become a pandemic in the United States as compared to people who live in the Caribbean islands or something, or in Africa. You see, then hit those places hard. The most places is hit is cities. Why? Because it's processed foods that's being fed to the people. So the body is subject to any type of biological change. Let me explain what a biological change means to me when I say this. I mean, if I go boom and you jump, you just made a biological change right there. You understand? Everything just changed in your body. So this is what I mean. You're subject to change biologically, what causes diseases, parasites, sicknesses, all these things. Now, why this is important? All right, this is why. When you don't eat natural foods, like such as people in Africa, people from the Caribbean, and people where just take their food naturally, you get your body conformed to those type of processed foods. If your body, which is a natural product that needs natural elements, cannot get them, it start feeding off your own body. That's what you've been eating for naturalness, your own self. You understand? And so for you, you have to get more nutritions, more natural food in your diet for you to not be subject to no viruses. And I'm not going to even say corona, because this goes for all viruses, all sicknesses. So if you want the basics on it, if you had the flu or you wanted to go to stop the flu from coming, you go to the doctor, they give you a flu shot. You get where I'm going with? They give you it. The disease, they give it to you. Your body build up immunity to it, and then when flu season come you like this, it can't do you nothing. So why would you always be washing your hands, taking the germs off of you? You got good bacteria and bad bacteria. These bacteria is female, like I said, so when germs come on you, it meets it. You don't go on your body. These two gonna stay here and play all day. Behind here is your immune system writing out the program to get this shit out of here permanently or become a wall that it can't penetrate. So you need the germs. No germs, the first one that come, you're dead, because you don't have no bacterial buildup. You don't have nothing to defend yourself. Now, I'm gonna show you how this has been proven, because this is new science that's coming up at the same time that we having these issues with actually this coronavirus. At the same time this is coming out, the science was just about to teach that too much washing of your hands, being too clean, how they observed like indigenous people, indigenous land, who was able to beat diseases and sicknesses by not being so extra clean, because they had extra microbes on them that a person in the city did not have, which made them more able to clean. This is what's called the hygiene hypothesis. You could YouTube the hygiene hypothesis, and you will get information such as this, which is what is the hygiene hypothesis, some stuff about washing your hands, Should you really wash your hands? That shouldn't even be a question to be in videos. But this is now science telling you about this stuff. So if science is telling you this, then they're telling you to don't use this. It's like they're saying, yo, why are you making them have defense system when we're trying to make them sit through the pharmaceutical company? So you have to understand this is our enemy right here that is doing it to us. Just listen to some of this real quick.
The American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology. I'm going to speak with you today about the hygiene hypothesis and my research with Amish families. The hygiene hypothesis is a theory that tries to explain the link between exposure to certain microbial factors and the prevention of allergies. Microbes cannot be seen, and they are either bacteria or viruses. We know that in developed countries where there is increased sanitation, better water supplies, and children with less infections, that allergies have increased significantly. Trying to understand the hygiene hypothesis is very complex, and one of the ways we can try to understand why people are having more allergies is possibly to find a population that has less allergies that live in America. I think I found such a population in the Amish who live in Indiana. The Amish are a group of individuals who emigrated to America many years ago for religious freedom. However, they still practice farming the way their ancestors did hundreds of years ago. They do not have electricity. They use horses and buggies to get from place to place. They use horses to pull plows on their farms. They also drink raw, unpasteurized milk. Our first research was to try to figure out whether or not these Amish children had fewer allergies than children living in a suburban environment. We skin tested over 100 Amish children and compared the results to skin tests in suburban children. In suburban children, almost 50% will have a positive skin test. In the Amish children, only 7% had a positive skin test. We believe that it is their early life exposures in these Amish children that protect them from the development of allergies. The mothers are pregnant and work in the barn on a daily basis. The children from a very early age spend time in the barn and are around large animals. They also drink raw milk. We think that all of these factors come together to decrease allergies and asthma in the Amish. It's an example of the hygiene hypothesis in a community. Our research is now expanding to carefully look at all aspects of Amish farm life and how it leads to protection against the development of allergies. We hope that through this research we will be able one day to offer to families who are at risk for having children with allergies and asthma a way to possibly prevent them.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop right there. So you get to see if you too clean, you're subject to diseases. Now, the reason why I'm gonna get deeper into it, let's get to the metaphysical side of this. I came from America over here, and I was sick as hell. As soon as I got here, within about a month, I had influenza. They said it was pneumonia. In the hospital for 5 days. Probably right before that, 2 weeks, can't move with the highest fever. What was the cause? I was too clean. I didn't have no germs on me. Out here is dust blowing, it's dirt. That shit made my lungs so clear. It was like my lungs was disappearing. It turned into a ghost when they showed me the x-ray. I had to develop an immune system. And when I was in America, had thyroid, hyperthyroid, Hashimoto disease, diabetes, high blood pressure. I could pull out my medical book. It's about as thick as a Bible with different medications and running to endocrinologists, this type of doctor, that type of doctor. Once I came here and got these microbes in this environment, all that shit was gone. I mean, they did the blood test, negative, 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 negative. I'm not telling you something that I'm, reading in a book or listening on YouTube. I'm telling you something that I experienced myself. And I teach this to people. When they come and start hand sanitizer, I say, get the fuck out of my house with that. Get out of here with that. Don't come in here with that. You understand? Let the ancestors be. You got these things here for a reason. God ain't make nothing for no reason. Everything is here for a reason. You got to realize that. So I'm walking one day, and he's talking to me. Me and him is talking. Me and the gods. And they're telling me, if you want to be healthy and you want to be good, you got to get these germs on you. You got to let yourself be okay with the bugs flying around, the mosquito over there. You can't, oh my God. No, I used to be like, oh God, help me. Now, when I'm in meditation, there could be a mosquito on me and I don't even move. I sit through the whole thing. Before I used to stop, I used to do everything. I'm not saying to go let mosquitoes bite you. Of course not. And I don't let mosquitoes bite me. They will sit on me, but they won't bite me. Of course it's going to sting, and I don't play the sting game. But what I'm telling you, your fear of, get rid of them. Whatever your fear of, this is deeper than what you think. This is ancestors doing this for the upgrade and evolution of humanity. This is not just government induced, which it is because they're over inducing it now, because you're hearing China's out of the red zone and is fixing their life back. So how bad could it be? You understand? Last year and the year before, it was the same coronavirus epidemic, but nobody know about it. I even got, let me see, let me show y'all this, the book. They've been wrote the book since 1995 that coronavirus was going to mess us up. I'm not here to disprove anybody, but just so y'all can see, this book been out since 1995. It's called Corona and Other Related Viruses. This book, it's the master Bible on the coronavirus. You want to know? It's this simple. Not does it. You know what they did? They gave this to mices. They could artificially make this, and they put it in mices. Why mices? Because mices can't get coronavirus. All other animals could get coronaviruses except for mices. Mices now replicate the Caucasian biology. The Caucasian biology and mices are the same biology, but it's not the same as the black person biology. I just want you to understand that. So they injected the coronavirus. It's in there. This is where they do the test results from, and give the mices the coronavirus. This is 95. So they got many coronaviruses. The basic coronavirus, which y'all think is emphysema, is the shit that killed Al Capone. This is the oldest shit in the world. It's only basic hepatitis. That's all it is. Something incurable called hepatitis. You understand? But they got it under all these other names as it mutate. Because the more they try to stop humans from upgrading, which is developing an immune system to stop them from spending money on in the pharmaceutical company, this is the result. It mutates and become more harder on us. But it's not here to take nobody out. Accept it. So now, like I said, you could read this book, The Coronavirus, by Perry J. Talbot and Gary A. Levy. You understand? And this right here, when I says the Bible on it, it teaches you more about your immune system because it tells you how it locks onto proteins, how it certain situations that don't work and how it do work, because they play all types of games with the mices with the coronavirus in this book. This also now in this book, hold on, let me go and show you. It was stated from 1995. They've been studying it. All the United States scientists, every scientist has been studying coronavirus harsh for 18 years. This is what it says in the book. I'm not making this up. You could read this book yourself. Let me see. I wanted to show you. Let me see if I got the book right here. I don't want to get too deep into it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Let me see. Okay, it's probably in my documents. I've been away for a quick minute. So I just want to show you that there's a book on it, and it's a science book. It's not actually just a book by anybody. So let me see if it comes up. 1 minute. No, this ain't gonna work. All right, but I'll get back to that in a second. My thing cut off. All right, that book right there that I was showing you breaks down that they've been researching it for over already 18 years prior to 1995. Then in 1996, they had a big conference in Canada, and all the top scientists of the world came together to try to make up some type of cure. This is 1995. You understand? They've been known about coronavirus, been messing with it, trying to figure it out. All right, let's leave that frequency for a quick minute and get spiritual with this. All right, corona itself. That's the crown. Corona is the sun. So this is a sun virus. We go in metaphysics now with this, so you can understand the deepest part of it. So you get to understand. Like I said, we're going down. Now it's the virus of the crown. This is for people who didn't accept the 2012 ascension. I not only did I put it in my post on Facebook, but I put it in a few of these videos that after the 2019 ascension is over. That was the last of it. The gates closed. There's a nigga named, excuse my language, it's this man named what's his name? Wes Penry. He got the whole ascension package. It's like probably 5 gigs of books from every draconian, you name it, Tiamat to, he goes through the whole thing, DNA, upgrade, the whole science that we was taught as you ascended in your head. They taught you all this in your head. So I went through it as you go on my Facebook. My Facebook reflected all for years of those 4 years of just ancient knowledge that was just being dropped down to me in my genetics. I didn't have to go research none of it. I was having experiences. I'm a seer now because of it, and I accept it. And I only accept it 1 year now. But I'm going through these places like a hologram. It just takes over you. You just be chilling like this. All of a sudden, this room is gone, and you're in another place. This going on for over 4 years of it. If you don't keep your head shaking and you don't count and you don't go like this, you're gonna leave here. You ain't gonna be here, and everything changes. So I went through this for 4 years of torture of hell before I figured out what this was about. And most of it is what y'all see in all those videos that just spit out back to back of all these different levels of it. So with that in mind now, this corona that we're talking about is the sun. You understand? And so the corona has a lot to do with that upgrade that people thought it was a joke. And these people thought it was a joke, was the materialistic people of the world who don't know what comes next is death. That's what happens next. I told everybody that there's going to be a separation of two worlds. The higher beings is coming now, and the lower beings is going to die off. Their theology, their belief system is going to kill them. What they believe, that Christian stuff, family life is going to be eradicated off the earth. I already said nobody's going to have to work no more because that's fake. Nobody, you will get income regardless if you work or not because you're under a queen. She has to take care of you like a franchise player. That's why you have a social security number. They use you as credit, so you're always going to make money. You don't have to work. That's dead. Go don't work and then see what happens. I bet you can't even be homeless then. You can't even be homeless. So you good. What I'm trying to say is you wasn't supposed to be out doing a lot of things. It's time to reprogram. Help your family with this information. You know, those mothers and fathers and shacking up together in the house for just sex, that's over. Tell them to separate, and she has her destiny and he has his destiny. What they're doing, the government put that in them to make up a democratic system and a republican system. So they go to work as a servant to the government, then come home and sit and don't figure out who are they, what are they here for, much less the metaphysics and their higher angelic self, and just lay there, watch TV, have sex, then make more kids, go eat again, have more sex, then go to work. That's a sin. That's not what you was here for. So laying up with each other for sex is dead. I'm gonna tell you, that's just gonna, they're gonna keep, the guy's gonna keep dropping stuff into the atmosphere that's gonna counter all these things till y'all understand y'all is gods and y'all have a purpose, and to go from here to here. You was a child once and now you're an adult, and you're gonna go to be an angel, and you're gonna go to be a dragon, and you're gonna go to be a being, like it or not. You understand what I'm saying? It's called evolution, and we're in the process. So let me put you on. That's all I could do. Pass the word on. When you see all this going on, you know, we got this thing, we live to just check out a woman, or the woman just to go get this dude, you get him in, and then what y'all do, just have sex, and more sex, and more sex, and more pleasure, and more pleasure. Nobody doing what they supposed to do. Do y'all sit down together and say, what you doing? He'd be like, yo, I'm not doing nothing. All right. She'd be like, well, I sell books. You want to come work for me selling books? Or we could build something together. If y'all ain't doing that and y'all just fucking or just pleasure zoning or just sitting around because you got a house, and what the fuck is you doing, Black Nation? Any nation. Who put this into you? That's not real. You got a mind that always working and never sleeps. Your body might sleep. You might be tired, but your mind is the one created all your reality. You need to tune yourself to that and see what's your purpose. Because when we get these separate minds, you don't have a separate mind. There's only one mind. This is why the ancestors saw these spirits, these beings. And I'm going to show you these beings, these spirits, so you understand what's going on here. They all share the one universal mind of the magnetic field of the North Pole and the South Pole, which makes a magnet, which makes what's called the Akashic Records. As the earth spins, there's a tape deck recording everybody experience. Right then and there, you could go tune in. You don't need nobody to tell you nothing. You could tune in. Why we don't know about that? Who sits still? Who believe what I'm saying? The elite separated themselves because they do it. They know it. Y'all, they tell y'all what they want to tell y'all, and y'all regurgitate it and believe it. Y'all believe in Corona even though you're not dying. People, supposedly 3,000 people die. Do you ever check the death rate and life rate of it? It's way more than that going on. That is really more important than us getting caught up in this buying and selling and going to the store and filling our stuff up with things we don't need. This is a time where you have parts on your body that feeds on different things and they oppose each other. Let me explain something to you. Your body itself, the physical body, you don't need to be in it. You don't have to be conscious of it. Let me explain to you. When you lifting weights, when you working out, when you push that yourself to that point, you leave your body. Your body do it. When you're jogging, you're not there. You're someplace else. Your body's finally been autopilot now, and it's doing the damn thing. You understand why you, when your music, your to-do list, whatever you're doing, but this is how you really work. But when you're not jogging or you're not working out, you in your body trying to tell the body what to do. I say this to say you're going to have a desire maybe for a piece of chocolate. You might have the desire for some vegetable smoothie. You might have the desire for a cheeseburger. It's okay. All of those is good. You don't have to go, well, I'm a vegan. I'm a this. Your body tell you what it needs. Just give your body what it needs. Don't have nothing to do with it. Gluttony is the problem. Our overdoing pleasure is the problem. Something tastes good, you want it again and again and again and again. You don't know how to just chill. That's what the problem is. We quick to go in the store and grab something and don't read the ingredients. Any ingredients is not good for you. You don't have ingredients in natural food. Why are we reading the ingredients if it has ingredients? It's not good for you. I can't make it no more simpler than that. Get natural things for a natural body. I'm not saying don't eat bad because you can't avoid it. You're in America. This is what it is. This is the new world. You got to understand the long-term story of what's going on here. And I'm sorry because I got a lot of people who tune in. I got all races. I got all nationalities. I got all colors. But one thing, I cannot be biased to one group of people, to another group of people, to another group of people. I'm about truth. This is important. Why? Because it's going to single out different groups of people. If you're not able to tell the truth within yourself, how are you going to not tell the truth in your society, in your group? So you have to be able to single out the group to see what's the problem and how could we fix the problem. So by me bringing up the problem fixes itself. You know why? Because you're conscious of it now. By me making these statements, people become aware of what's going on. And so even if they do it unconsciously, they're going to configure themselves towards it, or society will see it from its right perspective. So on that now, we're going to get deeper again. How did this all come about, and why is this Corona? Before I do, let me break down something else. Let me see if my tablet is on. All right, before we do, the tablet is back up. Let's look at this SARS. This is where it gets kind of funny. What's that supposed to mean? Some type of respiratory breathing. It's like an acronym for respiratory breathing something. Y'all know what SARS is, right? But in the spiritual world, it don't work like that for us. Everything that is in front of us already has its meaning. You could say your name is this, but to me it means something else. And not interpret it different. So for now, what I'm trying to put you onto is these pictures I'm gonna show you, right? These is gonna explain. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this up. Man, these they try to upgrade your. I just upgraded my device just now, and they're gonna take my pictures and just do what they want. So we go down here. Okay, the word that we're gonna be talking about is SARS itself. SARS. You see it right there, SARS. COVID, SARS. SARS is important. Why SARS is important? By coincidence, you ever know what SARS is? I'm not talking about the acronym word itself. I'm talking about SARS. And we're going to do two things first. We're going to add an A to the SARS. So what do you get when you add ASAR to it? I want you to Google that, look that up, and tell me what is ASAR. We're doing metaphysics here, right? So its name is SARS. All of them is called SARS. All right? Okay, there's another thing that you need to know about this as we take this spiritually. There is this thing called white matter, just like we got dark matter. Everybody know dark matter, but do you know what white matter is? White matter is more real and important than dark matter. Dark matter is outside of you. Everything out here is dark matter. You're dark matter. What's inside of you, though? What's inside your cranium, your brain? Okay. There's this thing. I'm going to let you see it. It's called the corona radii. You see it right there? And you see the word right here, white, and then matter. Up here, white matter. Let me make it so you can see the whole thing. Oops. The corona radii may be affected by disease affecting the cerebral white matter, including ischemic, there's another word, multiple sclerosis, and progressive leukoencephalopathy, and normal pressure homo expansion of the latter. These words is bigger than my mouth could move right now. All right, Google this word, all right, and look that up. You understand? I'm putting y'all onto ASAR. I'm putting y'all onto the cornea. You see, you get the corona. I mean, corona disease is the same thing. Corona affects white matter, and it's a cause from white matter. It's very important for you to understand that. Do you know what white matter is? It says it right there again. Read white matter. White matter is the tissue through which messages pass between different areas of the gray matter within the cerebral nervous system. Do you know what white matter is now? It's your connection to the gods. Your connection to the gods is being compromised. Do you see and read? I hope you see it the right way. Okay, so we're going into this now deeper. Let's get into this. White matter disease. What is white matter disease? Have you ever seen white matter disease or heard of this before? You haven't heard these terms before, really. I'm putting it up so you can read. So this is what it says. White matter disease is a disease that affects the nerves that link various parts of the brain to each other and to the spinal cord. This is your kundalini. You understand? It attacks your kundalini. These nerves are also called white matter. White matter disease causes those areas to decline in functionality. White matter disease is an age-related progressive disease. Okay. What you call old age, when you see them can't get up, their fingers, they got to tell you to open up something. That's just a depletion of white matter from them not taking care of themselves. All old people is not old. That's a depletion of white matter that they should have put back into their system a long time ago. So now when you see the result of not taking care of yourself, that's the result of it. This thing called the depletion of white matter, which is what we don't know about. You would, if you knew about white matter, you'd be preserving yourself and stay looking young. What the philosophers call the elixir, the philosopher's stone, the mana. Those things put back into white matter. That make you stay young. That make you quick to talk, quick to move. If you know you get old and you like, you dead already. You don't have no more white matter. I got to teach you this so you go help your family. Take them out in the sun. That gives them white matter. I'm staring to the sun. All right, keeping it going. This right here, this is funny. This is the picture of the cover of the Chinese coronavirus, manual. And they know their science because on one side is the fire, on one side is the ice or white. You see the two forces is right there. This is them now. You see them? Look at the eyes. Look whose eyes is looking at. You. And they're beating down what's this the virus, the thing that's here to upgrade you. The two gods, one on each side. Why it's not just one big ice? Why it's not just one big fire? They separate them right down the middle because it's the war of the gods. Okay, now let me break this down some more to you real quick. This right here now goes into play to show you that this ties in and is part of a weirder conspiracy because the Roswell crash was in Corona, New Mexico. This is called crash at the Corona, the original sightings of the Roswell thing. Well, when you take all this into account, let me see what's this. Okay. 1 second. Okay, I didn't do my ASAR. Where did I put ASAR? Okay, I'm gonna go live for ASAR. We're gonna do ASAR on Google together so that we get the full meaning. I didn't do ASAR yet, so let me get ASAR in there. It's what is it? SARS, SARS. SARS. We're going to first do SARS etymology to see where SARS come from. All right, you're going to see basically basic information about SARS, and then when you tie it in now in this fashion, it's really just going to give you it as the acronym for the meaning of what the acute respiratory syndrome would stand for. So you could see it in its origin as you look SARS. It tells you the origin. It's English, and it stands for severe acute respiratory syndrome. But we're not looking at it from this perspective. We're gonna add an A to it first. Let's add an A to it. Now, this take on a whole new meaning. This now, it takes on a meaning of a god or the gods. Okay, hold on. Let me show you. Oh, 1 second. One second, I just lost myself. This is taking Okay. Now, when you add the A to it, you get ASAR. I'm going to show you the word first, ASAR. ASAR, OSAR. These words is another name for Osiris, the god of agriculture, fertility, the life, the afterlife, the dead resurrection. So you got Osiris Asar, right? That's what the name of the disease is, right? Now, this is not the whole thing that makes this complete because that's not where we're trying to go with this. I want now the real original word was spelled ASUAR, Asur, right? That would be the meaning on the title that would have been assigned to the okay. That would have been the real meaning where they got the acronym from. So now as we go into Asur, we talking now a different type of a god. You're talking about somebody that is actually let me go into it and give you One second. One second, y'all. I keep spelling the wrong word. If you don't watch this Google thing, you be writing one thing and they give you its own stuff. Okay, better. Yo, look at the trouble I had to go through just to make it spell Asur. It's giving me its own version and telling me what it wanted to tell me. Okay, Asur, Asura. That would have been the original word. And it says a member of a class of divine beings in the Vedic period, which in Indian mythology tend to be evil and in Zoroastrian are benevolent. Why this is important? All right. Like I said, this is called some evil beings to one group of people, but to another group of people, they're benevolent, good beings. So this is telling you one group, one being is being seen by two different people from two different perspectives. One see it as evil or one see it as good. So now let's look more into this Asur. Right here is the Wikipedia Asur. You understand? I'm going to the Wikipedia Asur. It says Asur is Sanskrit, are a class of beings or power-seeking clans related to the more benevolent devas, also known as suras in Hinduism. The asura battle constantly with the devas. Asuras are described in Indian texts as powerful superhuman demigods with god or bad qualities. The good asuras are called idiotas and are led by Varuna, while the malevolent ones are called Dandivas and are led by Varatara. In the early layer of Vedic texts, Agni and Indra and other gods are also called Asuras. So you're talking, they're calling the coronavirus a god. It's one of the gods. Whether it be benevolent or malevolent, it's still one of the gods. It's right there in your face. We don't, like I said, don't try to push things more than what we see. So look up the word Asur and you will get the metaphysical, spiritual understanding of what's going on because they do. This goes even deeper. I'm going to go deeper, but I first want you to understand Asur because who are the Asurs? Are you, you know, the word Asur is just another, like you could say, acronym for the Titans. The Titans is the Asur. The when you say Asur, you're saying Titans. So the Titans is what's really here. Now I'm gonna give you an example of why it's like that. So you see Diva Asur right here. This is Diva Asur, the War Asur right here. So you have many Asurs. Like Osiris is the original Asur. They're all in that one sphere of Osiris. So I need you to understand Asur, and then all right, they got a whole lot on this, and to not make me be into this part of the subject matter all day, y'all research this part for yourself. I gave you enough information. You got Asur in Buddhism. Asar is Osiris. No matter how you look at it, SARS come back to still the gods. That's my whole point right there. And so this is spiritual. All right, let's leave this now for a second. The reason why this is all important now is because those without faith and those that don't know about the gods don't understand what this upgrade is, what's going on here, and this transformation we're going through spiritually. And it's all right to be going through this transformation. If we don't allow it, we're going to go into a state where we are going to die, we are going to get sick, and our own body is going to attack us from the inside. This is what's making this kind of deep because we all have corona on us. When we're talking about viruses and bacteria, that's what we're made of. We are bacteria. That's when you put a group of them together, you call them microbes. Microbes is the new science. I want you to understand where life is headed as far as with these bacteria, germs, and microbes is concerned. And if we don't unite ourselves, don't over clean and over sanitize yourself, because you need a defense system. And if you don't build up immunity to these things, you're subject to the government and all this propaganda that is telling you. So the isolation, if it's not for spiritual isolation and you're worried about germs infecting you in this, you shouldn't, because you need to build up your immune system. You want to wear a germ or two so you could have a defense system built up. All right. Before we go too far into this, let me actually show you. We could take the camera around. It's kind of drizzling. It's raining outside. But the number one defense that you should know then before we start doing this, I'm going to take you out and make you understand what you're going to have to do for your body. That the people on the islands has got over everybody, and the people who's in indigenous places such as Africa, to balance out the playing fields and to help y'all. I do believe that you do need to be introduced to herbs more and supplements that actually look at your body as actually a car, and you have to oil your car with actual oil, not food you like to eat. I call food you like to eat, different from herbs, because they taste nasty. They're not very thing, but you have to put it in your body, and I recommend now in this time on a daily basis. So, on that note, let me pick this up. We're gonna take a look around real quick. I wanna see if I could get this into view. Now, let's go out here for a minute. Let's stay. Hope this stay up. All right, y'all with Anki. Let's turn the camera around. All right, it's raining out here right now, but I'm gonna go down here to basics, right? Yeah, right here is good. This out here, right? People underestimate this right here is what